Hello everyone and welcome to the second video. This is going to be obviously for night 2. Night 1 is already up, so go check that out. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it because the last video was almost 20 minutes. I want to try and keep this to under 15 if I can. So let's get into it. I don't know what the first match is going to be, so we're just going to go to Brock versus Omos, or as Brock's been calling him, Brock versus Omos, which I think is hilarious because it sounds like almost. But anyway, I'm not gonna, like I said, this is just gonna be a strict video of what I reckon the prediction is gonna be for what I think is gonna happen and what I think should happen. I'm not gonna go too much into storylines because I don't want to take up too much time this time. Storylines and explanations and stuff like that is gonna be more for specific videos that I do outside of this. This is just mostly predictions. And I'm saying that I'm probably still gonna end up doing explanations. But anyway, for those that don't know, I'm still doing an explanation. Brock versus Omos is a match that wasn't initially supposed to be on the card. I think the reports backstage was that Brock was supposed to face Gunther and Bobby Lashley was supposed to face Bray Wyatt, which is silly because I think that it should have been Brock versus Bobby, but I digress. Anyway, what the reasoning for this was because Brock declined facing Bray, from what I heard, and therefore it ended up being Omos because for whatever reasons the plans to face Gunther fell through. So this is the match we get. This is the match that we're gonna have to have, I suppose. So it's not been a great build. Omos doesn't feel like a great wrestler. I mean, he feels like a slightly better version of Great Khali. He feels a little bit quicker. Feels like he's not as immobile. But I mean, he's not great. I mean, I don't want to be bad mind, but he's not great. He doesn't feel great, does he? And I feel like Brock's going to murder him. I feel like Brock's going to squash him, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. I can't get invested in this because you would think in your head that Brock is a more dominant force than both Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, and Brock's beating both of those. So for me personally, Brock is already the more dominant out of the three, so Brock should be coming out with a win unless WWE choose to give Omos the win to make him seem more credible. Oh, Brock's beaten Braun, Brock's beaten Bobby, and Omos beat him. I think Brock should win and Brock will win. I think for credibility, Omos should probably win, but I reckon because Omos hasn't really lived up to the hype that they're trying to portray him as, Brock should win the match and then go off to his farm or whatever. But he should win the match, I reckon, and I reckon he will win the match. Everyone's going to pop for the F5. Can't wait to see it. Let's get into the next match. Oh, not that I can't wait to see the match. I can't wait to see the F5. Not the match. The match is probably going to be pants. On to the next match. Okay, so the next match, and I was complaining about this in the last video. Go check it out again. Shameless plug. But yeah, I don't agree with this. I feel like the only reason why this match and the men's match have been put onto these WrestleManias, the men's tag match, is just to get them on the card. I was going to put in a video, I didn't do it in the end, where I was going to talk about some of the people that are getting matches and may potentially not make it onto the WrestleMania card. And a lot of these women was going to be in that video. The only women that I wasn't going to put there was going to be Ronda and Shayna, because I didn't see Ronda not being on the card and she was probably going to tag with Shayna. So the other reason why I don't like this is the fact that it's just a bunch of women put together. At least with the men's one, all of them are either established tag teams. They've been established for a while. Or in Ricochet and Braun Strowman's case, they've been wrestling for quite at least a month or two now. They've had tag team title experience. Like, at least they have experience. Some of these girls have only been in the ring as a team for a couple matches. In Sonya and Chelsea Green's case, they've been in one match together. So it doesn't, for me, that doesn't sit well with me. That just doesn't vibe with me. And on top of that, neither this nor the men's match have got any specifics as to what this leads to. Is it just a match on the card, or does it lead to a title shot? Does it lead to a number one contender shot, or does it make them number one contenders? do they get like some sort of prize? This just looks like a match, and because there's no storyline, it just doesn't feel like there's anything here. So, but that's not what we're here for. I did say I wasn't going to explain, but here I am doing it again. I'm sorry. Shayna and Ronda have to win this. If they don't win this, I'll be very surprised. I reckon they're going to win because they are the dominant team in here, both singles and probably as tags. They are the marquee team. They have been expected to be in some form of tag team whatever for a while now. And on top of that, like I said before, does this lead to a prize? I don't think that it... I think unofficially it will lead to a title shot. They haven't specified it, but I think what will happen is Shayna and Ronda will win, and then they'll come out maybe on the Raw after WrestleMania or the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and they'll say to whoever the tag team champs... Oh wait, hold on. It will be Becky and Leah. They'll go to those two, unless they lose the belts on Raw, and they'll say, unless they beat him on Raw, and then they'll say, look, we won that match, we deserve a title shot. So that's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think should happen as well, because again, they are the dominant force in this match, and I've gone on for 3 minutes. That's what I think is going to happen. On to the next one. The Scottish Psychopath versus the Ring General versus a Celtic Warrior. I honestly, I can't wait for this, man. The chops in this match is gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see Sheamus, being completely pelted up and just red. It's going to be hilarious, right? Give me 1 second. Hey, look at that! I moved just like magic. Yeah, I was blocking Gunther's face. That you can't block the Intercontinental Champion like that, man. The disrespect. Gunther will find me in my house and probably chop me to death. Anyway, I personally think, right? Don't stone me. I think that Sheamus should win. I don't know what I think, actually. This is one of the few matches where I don't know what I think. I think, right, that Gunther should win. Right, because it would be nice to have someone to finally make the Intercontinental Championship feel credible again, and Gunther's already doing that. If he wins, he can continue that. However, my heart is telling me that Sheamus should win. I don't want Sheamus to lose again, because if he loses again, it's his third loss against Gunther, and it's the only belt he hasn't won. Like, Drew won it on his first run. And I think he's actually won it since he's been back. But I could be wrong. Sheamus hasn't won it yet. So my heart is telling me that Sheamus should win it. And on top of that, if Sheamus doesn't win it, that's 3 losses that he's now had. And it's just like, how do you bounce back from that? Why do you deserve another title shot if you've already had three losses? Do you know what I mean? Which is why I say it should probably be him. But, oh man. Alright. I'm gonna say Sheamus, alright? I'm gonna say that I think it should be Sheamus, right? Not because that Gunther should lose it, not because it's his time to lose it, but just because Sheamus hasn't held it yet, and it will be a feel-good moment. I think there will be some feel-good moments in here. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will have a feel-good moment. I reckon Cody, spoilers for later, will have a feel-good moment. But I also feel like Sheamus will be one of the ultimate feel-good moments because he's never held it before, and it will feel good for him to win. And then we never know, you might even see Drew turn heel on Sheamus. So we have to wait and see. But yeah, that's what I think should happen. But what will happen is I think Gunther will retain. Triple H has been building Gunther strong, not only since he come to the main roster, but in NXT. Gunther's always looked and felt strong, even when he was Volta. And I feel like this is going to be his achievement. Is going to be hanging on to the Intercontinental title to make it so credible that he's almost impossible to beat. And then, when he does lose it, he's going to go onto the title scene. That's what I think. So, Gunther for the win. Oh, bloody hell, I've taken 3 minutes on every one of these so far. Anyway, on to the next. And now we have 2 of my favourite women. Scratch that. 2 of my favourite people in the whole of WWE. Bianca Belair and Asuka. I love them both to pieces. And for that reason, I have no idea who I want to win. I have no problem with Bianca Belair keeping her title. Some people have said that her title reign has been stale, and not only do I half agree, because she's been kind of built like Super Cena, but not only do I half agree, I also feel like there are still credible opponents that she can fight and she can beat. Asuka being one of them, Belair being one of them, Ripley being one of them, Charlotte being one of them, Becky Lynch again, Bayley when she first came back. Like, she has credible opponents she can beat. And if they build up other women, there's more credible opponents she can beat. She hasn't faced Ronda yet. Like, that would be really good. Like, for her to beat her, even if Ronda doesn't give her a good match, beating Ronda would be beating someone credible. So I've liked Bianca's reign. I do think that Bianca is a beast. But if Asuka wins, I won't be mad at it. I've loved Asuka from the day she came in, and I think that they should really do more with her. I think that I feel like almost every title reign that Asuka's had, she's almost been an afterthought, or she's almost been in the background, even on her own title reigns. There was a title reign, I forget which one it was, but she either won it when no one expected her to, or she retained it when no one expected her to, because the match she was in, I think it involved Becky and Charlotte, or it involved someone and Charlotte, and Asuka kept the belt, and no one expected it, but at the same time, it was like she was just an afterthought in that match. And for me, that can't run. And she feels like an afterthought here to an extent as well. But she should win. In my opinion, I think she should win. I think that she hasn't been built up well enough. But she's such a talented wrestler that she deserves to win. And I think that she probably will put on a good show. But I reckon Bianca will get the win. So I think Asuka should get the win. Bianca's had a good run. But I reckon Bianca's going to win, you know, keep her Miss WrestleMania alive, not had a loss there, and also having a title for over a year. I think she's keeping it. Let's go on to the next one. So, Edge called out the Demon, and the Demon looks like he's going to respond. So, it's looking like Brood type of Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. One sec. Me recording a YouTube video, you would think that I'd have my camera and everything set up perfectly in it to the point where I don't have to edit anything and move anything, but it is what it is. But yeah, so it's looking at the Demon Finn Balor is going to be facing Edge. Now, the Demon Finn Balor initially was looking strong in NXT. Since he's been up in the main roster, not necessarily the case. It's just felt like spooky nonsense. And after he faced Roman Reigns, and he only really lost because God intervened and made the ropes of the ring crash down, it just felt like the Demon was a wash. This is the time to not only rehabilitate the Demon and let him get his win back, a dominant win, I would say. Edge doesn't need the win; he needs a loss for flip's sake. Like, I love Edge, I've always loved Edge, but nah, man, it's time. Give him a defeat, man. He's beaten the Judgment Day in every aspect of this feud, apart from when they made him say I quit because they held his wife to ransom. So please, give Finn the win. That's what I think should happen. What I think will happen is Finn gets to win. I won't be surprised if WWE swerve us. Not even swerve us, if they just give Edge the win. I won't be surprised. Edge has always got the win. I think he's got creative control or creative clout in regards to some of his matches, or most of his matches, or all of his matches. So I think he would have a say in this. But the fact that Finn has been losing every match, give him the win, man. And it's Hell in a Cell as well. I think if Judgment Day get involved in some way, shape or form, I think Damian Priest will get involved because he's not in a WrestleMania match. Then Finn will win comfortably, or comfortably enough. Give him the win. I think they will give him the win. He needs something, and then he'll branch off onto something after WrestleMania. But yeah, let them get the win. On to the next one. On to the last one. And now we have the final match, the main event of night 2 and of all of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And I'm not gonna be long. I'm just gonna be blunt, nice and quick. Cody for the dub. Roman's reign has been amazing. It's been fantastic. I've got a video that I just put out about why Roman will beat Cody Rhodes, but it was just the way to get people to watch the video and then give them information about how Roman's reign has been and why it's not inconceivable that Roman will keep his belt. Even here, it's not inconceivable that Roman keeps his titles, but there's a lot of story that can be told with Roman losing his belts. I'm not going to go into everything right now because I ain't got the time, and I could be here for longer than 10 minutes just discussing all the different story routes they could go down with Roman losing his belt. Yeah, with Roman losing his belt, sorry. Yeah. And also as well how it would be fitting for Cody to come back and beat Roman, right? Not just because Cody it finishes the story, but if you look back at the history that these guys have, people forget, right, that just before Cody left, just before Cody became Stardust, right, him and his brother was in a feud with the Shield. People forget that. They actually, I genuinely think they forget it, and it's never been brought up in this storyline either. Because obviously Roman Reigns wasn't the main eventer at that point, and Cody Rhodes was mid-card fodder, quote unquote. So anyway, I'm getting on a tangent here. My point is, Cody is gonna win because he is the only guy right now who feels like a main event star, either on par or nearly on par to Roman. And it feels like if they don't do it now, when will they do it? Should have done it with Drew. Possibly should have done it with Seth. I feel like there's others. You could have possibly done it with Edge and Daniel Bryan. But at the end of the day, this is where now it feels like it's time. And like I said, there's so many different storylines that they can branch off with after that, leading to Roman. Roman could have a breakdown. Roman could just be so upset that he disbands the family. Roman could be upset that it could be a point where the family don't respect him no more because he ain't got his titles. He can't claim the head of the table, or can't claim that he's a tribal chief anymore because he hasn't got his belts. Therefore, he hasn't got his power. There is so many routes they could go down, right? And I'm excited to see how they do it. Him keeping his titles and the Usos not keeping theirs as well, or the other way around, adds to so many more dynamics. Solo Sikoa could stop respecting it. Listen, I'm going to end up talking about this forever if I carry on. Point is, there is a lot of things they can do, but I think they can do more if he loses his belts, and I think that's the route that they're going down, and I believe that's the route they should go down. Yeah. Wrestlemania, baby, woo. Okay, so that is the predictions for night 2. Go check out my other video for night 1. I've pretty much rushed through this because if you guys don't know, I'm actually on my way off to a gaming event and I don't feel too well, but I'm about to shoot off, so I've got to get myself ready to go, and I'm already crazy late. But I was supposed to do this last night, fell asleep, I was completely finished, and I was supposed to do it this morning, but I was finishing off the first video and I was completely shattered. So this is done. We are finished now. Make sure you guys let me know how you feel about WrestleMania when it's done. Let me know what predictions you had or you have, and this, that, and the other. What did you think was going to happen if you messaged me after WrestleMania is over? But yeah, come back because there's going to be many videos coming up on the channel. Obviously, I've just put out a video called which starts off a new series called the W series. The why, the what, the when, the where, the who, the whatever, the will, whatever it is. They're beginning with W, and the first video is why Roman is going to be winning at WrestleMania. So I've just completely contradicted that with these predictions. But anyway, go check that out, and there will be more coming up in the weeks to follow. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in a bit.